So, once again, welcome to my channel. Right, so I have like 3 stacks of books that I don't even really know what they are. Just have to figure out what I'm working with here first and then start gluing. So this one here is glued on both sides. I think probably this whole stack will be in that same situation. Putting wax paper in between each one because even though the glue is totally dry, it's still a little bit tacky and it can stick to the paper underneath it. So it's good to separate them. They are separable even if they stick a little bit, but it's just easier to do it this way. Especially like if I stuck or stacked these two together like that, the glue and this would almost surely stick together. I usually alternate them like this, but they can still, the glue can stick to the paper and the glue can stick to the paper, so this prevents that. Okay, like I said, it's not permanent sticking, it's just, I've had it where it rips off little pieces of paper. It's very minor damage, it doesn't matter because all of this is going to be glued into the inside of the cover anyway, as long as it doesn't rip all the way through. Big deal, but this prevents anything from happening at all. So it's not even a concern. So these are completely glued on the sides and the spine, so they are ready to cut the edges. Looks like there's a little bit of a bubble here that didn't get glued all the way down. I think I was applying glue a little bit sparingly last time because I didn't want to get it all over my hands, but I probably should put a little bit more on just to make sure it sticks well. I mean, more on next time. I'm not gonna add anything to those, but on these next ones that I do, I'll be a little bit more generous. I'm gonna sort my wax papers here because they're all got a few different sizes. That one's kind of crappy, but if I cut the edges off, I can probably keep using it. Basically, I have three sizes, kind of a small rectangle, these giant ones, which are for bigger books, and these smaller strips that are for smaller books and other special purposes. I don't do a lot of giant books, so I don't use these that much, but I can't remember. I used them recently, and I don't remember what that was all about. These ones that don't have a straight edge, I need to trim because it's pretty important to have that straight edge on all of them. And I may as well just do that right now. It'd be nice to have a little shelf with really shallow trays that I can put these in, so I don't just throw them in my huge drawer here. Tend to get disorganized that way. Alright, these are very crooked edges, so I'm going to make sure all four edges on each of them are totally straight. You can use a knife to cut these, but it can bunch up and then ruin your edge, so I typically use my rolling cutter here. It's not super important that these are square, but I figure since I can, I may as well make them square. It's more just about having straight edges on each side. And the reason for that is I use them when I'm doing the final step of the book. I put these inside here and fold that like that. And so I want that edge to be straight so it goes all the way to the fold like that. If it has all these jaggies, it's not going to extend all the way in. So, but it doesn't really matter if they're square. Don't really need to use my square either because I have this nice grid cutting board, but I don't know, it bugs me. This grid thing bugs me. I think it's pretty reliably straight, but I don't like the colors of it. I know that sounds silly, but depending on which lights I'm using with my colored lights, it makes this kind of blue cyan color really look similar to the green. It's hard to see. Plus, I don't like that the lines are kind of thick. If you're using a grid, you kind of want the lines to be precise and thin. Not only do you have to line it up with the grid, but you have to line it up with one side of the line or the center of the line, and it's kind of annoying. I know, silly complaints. You can see like, well, I don't know if you can see on camera, maybe. It's like thick line, thin line, thick line, thin line, thick line, thin line. So I typically use the thinner alternating ones just to get a little bit more precise. What a stir. What a surprise. Thought it was going to be all about gluing, but so far it's all about cutting. Alright, one more. This one's barely worth saving. It's pretty messed up, but I think it has some life left to it. Let's just give it some new edges. Should be fine. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Ready for the gluing. Got quite a few to do here. Let's see, how many do we have? I think all of these have had one side glued and not both. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Got 19. Have one side glued and the other not. That's what I'll be doing today. Hey, is that Trewin or Trewin? Enjoying my content, thanks. I think you're my official first comment on Odysee. It's been pretty quiet in chat. Well, pretty is not even the right word. It's been entirely silent, so welcome. Is this the first time you've caught my stream, or have you been lurking for a while? I'm a very lurker-friendly channel, so don't ever feel bad if you just want to watch and not chat. It's not a problem. Yeah, I'm new here. I've been here about 2 weeks. Created my account maybe a little bit before that. I don't remember when I did that, but I've only streamed for a couple weeks, and been streaming for over 3 years on other platforms, but new to the Odysee site ecosystem, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, there's something about it that I like. I don't know, I got kind of burnt out with a couple other platforms. I may go back to those someday too. I might restream, I don't know, but I'm kind of liking the relaxing, low pressure experience of a new platform. I think a lot of streamers get stressed out when they change platforms because they have to start up from scratch, and they're seeking all the views and subscriptions, but I've never been into that, so it's actually kind of refreshing. Pretty strong introvert, so I can't really handle crowds, so sometimes I just want to get away. But I like to be known as well, I don't want to be a stranger and have no connections and no friends, so I'm not that much of an introvert. If I was that much of an introvert, I don't think I'd be streaming. Wouldn't make much sense. But I kind of am that much of an introvert, but streaming is something special, it's something different. It's hard to explain, but I think even people that are introverts probably can do it. You can still be an introvert and stream. It's not as threatening as it might seem. Alright, there's the first one. Or since I have these reverse stacked, I probably should, let me see. I need to get the biggest one from the bottom of the stack first so that I can reverse the capture method. That won't make any sense to anybody probably, but Kung Pao quote. Want to get the biggest ones at the bottom of the new stack that I'm making so it's more stable. So let me flip this upside down and start with these. Okay, so these haven't been glued at all. These must be fresh out of the book press from the spine gluing. Kind of anxious to get the new glue bottle with just a smaller one. All sorts of these crusty, clumpy glue blobs, and that tends to happen when I'm using too big of a container. The glue has too much time or too much air contact, so smaller is better. And I can clean it out more often. It's actually pretty hard to clean this container out because it's too long to reach in there with something to scrape the bottom off and clean it out thoroughly. The smaller one I could clean it out more regularly because I'd use the glue more quickly and empty it. Seems like all I've been doing is gluing lately, not just on my streams here on Odysee, but just been doing a lot of gluing. But as soon as I'm done, well, I have a lot more to do actually. Even after these ones that I've been working on, I have another couple batches that should be glued. But once I'm finally done with those, then I'll be doing a bunch of cutting. I think it's cutting is more interesting. Has that kind of satisfying aspect to it. Let's see, where did my cap go? That's not good. Must have rolled off somewhere. So far, I haven't seen any, I don't know what to call them. There's got to be a word that's not offensive or politically loaded, but the first word that comes to mind is normies, but that has kind of a connotation to it. You know, like people, basically non-political streamers. Like I've noticed there's pretty much mostly political streamers here on Odysee, and then a few radio stations. Very few gamers, very few creative, like either live musicians or art. I don't know. There's probably a better generic word, but everybody's creative. Even the political streamers, they, you know, put some creative content out. It's all creative. But anyway, I haven't met any, or haven't seen any real streamers besides the political. So I feel like I'm kind of in a class of my own at this point, but I'm not also on looking at the site at all hours of the day. I kind of just glance, see who's on sometimes before I start my stream, and it's pretty much all politics and discussion at this time of night. Maybe there's some gamers and art type streamers on different days or different schedules. But I'm hoping my presence here will maybe inspire some other people to move over or give it a shot. I've never had a big following though, so I didn't even tell anybody on the platforms I was at, come on over to Odysee. I'm not really a big promoter in that sense. And I also kind of run away a little bit. Not entirely. I mean, like if those people followed me here, it'd be cool to see them, but I don't want to create drama, you know, like on the other platforms say, hey, forget that place, come over here. It's kind of has a negative side to it. I figure if people are happy in a place, they should stay in that place, and if they're not happy, they can move on. I was not super happy, so I decided to move on and see how it goes here. Okay, let's keep doing these big ones so I can stack these up nicely. I think it would be cool though if Odysee had a little bit more visibility or a dedicated page for their live streaming content. I think it maybe should be live.odysee.com or something like that. To have a more strong landing page that's built for streamers specifically instead of the pre-recorded uploaded content. I think that would help I don't know. I don't know if that would make much difference unless you promote it or have a separate tab for it or something. I'm not sure how it would work. But currently it's kind of hard to find live streamers. Like, I mean, I'm a former web developer and designer and stuff. I have a fair amount of experience with UI and all that. It took me a long time to find the live streams. I didn't even know where they were. And then once I kind of looked at all the different categories, the very bottom one, Wild West or whatever it's called, that's where they are. It's like, oh, I would have never thought to look there. I don't even know what that means, honestly. Like, what Wild West, what kind of category that's meant. It almost sounds like miscellaneous, but it has like a weird Western vibe. Yeah, well, obviously. It can be gunslingers or something. Guess it probably just means category where anything goes, but that doesn't seem like a logical place to put live streams. Category called live would make sense, or distribute the live streams into the various categories where they would fall, which I guess mine would go under art or lifestyle or something. I can't remember what categories they have. My finger is feeling the wear and tear of all this pushing down. So I might actually give myself a break from doing this for that reason alone. Could just use a different finger to push down the mull bit. I'm just used to using my index finger. It's starting to, feels like it's pulling the skin off or something. I don't think it is. I think it's just all the moisture and drying, moisture drying, glue. All that stuff is just wearing. Need to remember to be a little bit more generous with the blue this time. I don't get it bubbling up. I think I'm doing that. Okay, let's try using a different finger, see if it feels a little bit better. This finger's starting to just hurt. I probably won't go super long on this stream either because I haven't eaten a legit dinner. I had really late lunch. Now it's about the time where I should eat something. I maybe should have done that before I started, and then I'd have a little bit more freedom to go later. I could probably get away with using a glove on this part. I don't know if that would help with just the feeling of pain after a while, though. It's like fingers aren't meant to push too hard for extended periods of time like this. It just wears on the muscles and the skin and everything. It's like when I'm holding down a ruler to cut things. If I do that repeatedly for days and days, my whole hand is sore. Shoot, I had a little bit of glue on my finger there and it transferred to the page here. Just thought I felt something sticky there. Maybe it's fine. I don't think I'll finish all these. It's a lot of glue to do. I mean, in this stream. I will finish them eventually. Oops, I keep forgetting I'm so used to using that finger. Doesn't feel right to use any other finger. Wish I was ambidextrous and could just use both hands. I probably could manage to learn that in certain tasks, but it just doesn't feel, it feels weird, so I don't do it. Even when you can't see it, there's just like a skin of glue on your hands when you're doing this stuff. To like pick it off. It's about time to go clean my brush after this one. Ouch, that hurts. Like stressing my ligaments or something. I don't know what it is. Might have to switch to another task just to give my hands a break. Probably a good investigation or exercise to think about some kind of device that could do this. Some kind of stamping, rubber stamping thing. Like a roller, I don't think would work. It needs to have almost a point to it. Like the end of like an eraser on a pencil. Something that's shaped kind of like that, but maybe bigger. Maybe cone shaped a little bit, and then you just stamp it down. Problem is it would get glue all over it, so it would need to be some kind of material that resists sticking. I don't know if rubber would work, maybe silicone, I'm not sure. But that would be nice to have something like that to save my fingers. Probably shouldn't have pulled that out, but oh well. Now I'm making a bunch of stringy junk. That's maybe something I'll experiment with though. Maybe go to the art store, see if there's any tools there that would work. If not, maybe try to make something. All it would really take is like a dowel, like something like the handle of this attached to some kind of round blotting device, like a rubber thing or whatever. I don't know. Just have to try different materials. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna clean this out, and then I'm going to decide whether I'll do more of these or give myself a break and work on something else. Figure that out in a minute. Okay, so gave it a little bit of thought, and I'm leaning towards ending this stream and going to eat some late dinner, and I realized I have this stack of books over here that are totally ready for covers. The spine is all prepared. I got the headbands on them. Got the headbands on them, and it's lined with this fabric. And I got the ribbon on there. I'm thinking I might work on those if I decide to come back tonight, which I probably will. So everything's cut, so the cut and sanded. I not only cut them straight on the edges, but I actually sand them with some really fine sandpaper so it's perfectly smooth on the edges. So I have like quite a few books here that are in that stage, and it would be kind of fun to just start finishing some books. I also like to have my streams be somewhat divided by different steps or content that I'm doing. So it'd be kind of fun to end this one and then start on the next one, so I can give it a new title and focus on the new task. I probably won't get very far, but it will be something different. So yeah, I have probably a dozen or so in this state. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say goodbye on this stream. I'll probably be back in maybe an hour or less, I don't know, and start working on the covers. I'm not going to even finish one cover because it takes so long. And I'm also going to be experimenting with some new techniques that I haven't used before, which will involve some new measurements taken and new materials experimenting with. So it'll be a little bit slow, and I'll describe my process as I go. So yeah, that's what I will do a little bit later tonight. Thank you everybody that joined, stopped by. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will maybe see some of you later. Otherwise, thanks for being here.